I thought my neighbor was trying to break into my house every night at 2 a.m. It started 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday. I'd just moved into this rental house in a quiet suburb, the kind of place where people actually wave at each other and kids ride bikes without helmets. Perfect for someone like me who works from home and values peace and quiet. That first night, I was up late finishing a project when I heard footsteps on my wooden porch. Heavy, deliberate steps. Then came the sound that made my skin crawl. Someone rattling my front door handle. Not gently testing it, but really yanking on it like they expected it to open. I muted my laptop and listened. The footsteps walked away after maybe 30 seconds of trying the door. I figured it was probably just a drunk person who got confused about which house was theirs. Happens in neighborhoods like this, right? But then it happened again Wednesday night. Same time, 2-3 a.m., according to my phone. Same pattern. Walk up, pause, rattle the handle aggressively, walk away. This time I actually got up and looked out my bedroom window, but whoever it was had already disappeared into the darkness. By Friday, I was starting to lose sleep over it. I mentioned it to my girlfriend Sarah when she came over for dinner. She laughed it off, saying I was probably just hearing the wind or maybe a raccoon. "You've been watching too many true crime documentaries," she said, stealing a fry from my plate. But Sarah wasn't there at 2 a.m. when it happened again. This time, the rattling lasted almost 5 minutes. I could hear someone testing different approaches, pulling, pushing, even what sounded like shoulder pressure against the door frame. My hands were shaking as I gripped my baseball bat, wondering if I should call 911 or if they'd think I was crazy. The weekend gave me time to think, and I decided to get proactive. I set up my old security camera on Monday, angling it toward the front porch. The motion sensor would catch whoever was doing this, and then I'd have proof for the police. Tuesday night came and went, nothing. I started to think maybe they'd moved on to someone else's house. But Wednesday at 2-3 a.m. sharp, my phone buzzed with a motion alert. I watched the live feed as a tall figure in a dark hoodie approached my door. The camera quality wasn't great in the darkness, and the person kept their head down, but I could make out their general build. Definitely male, probably my height, wearing what looked like jeans and sneakers. The footage showed him reaching for my door handle, but the angle was wrong to see his face clearly. Thursday night, the rattling was more aggressive than ever. Through my bedroom wall, I could hear what sounded distinctly like someone trying to pick the lock. Metal on metal, that scratching sound that makes your teeth ache. I was ready to grab my phone and dial 911 when it suddenly stopped. By Friday, I was exhausted and paranoid. Sarah had stopped taking my calls about it, probably thinking I was losing my mind. Maybe I was. I'd barely slept all week, jumping at every small sound the house made as it settled. That night, instead of hiding in my bedroom, I decided to position myself by the living room window with a clear view of the front porch. I turned off all the lights and waited, baseball bat across my lap like some kind of suburban vigilante. 2-3 a.m. arrived like clockwork. I watched a tall figure approach my door in that same dark hoodie. This was it. I was finally going to see who had been terrorizing me for weeks. The figure reached for my door handle and froze. Then, instead of rattling it, he pulled out a set of keys. My blood went cold as I watched him try 3 different keys before finding one that actually worked. How did this person have my keys? Had they been copied somehow? Was this an ex-tenant who never returned them? The door opened, and he stepped inside my house. My house. He flicked on the light switch, and that's when I saw his face. Clearly for the first time in the bright overhead light. It was me. Same height, same build, same everything. Same confused expression I probably wear when I can't find my phone. He looked around the living room like he didn't recognize it, checked his phone, then walked back outside and tried the door handle again. I ran outside in my pajamas and confronted myself standing on my own porch. Turns out, I'd been sleepwalking for weeks, leaving through the back door I'd installed last month, then trying to get back into my own house while completely unconscious, unable to remember which key worked on the new front door lock I'd forgotten I'd changed. My girlfriend still thinks I made the whole thing up.